So I'm going to give you a quick demo about how we provide our DDoS solution. This is our client portal. I'm not going to go into the details of the portal, but this is how the entire portal works. And in this case, I'm talking about so this is our portal, and this is one of the sites that is protected by AppTrana. What before I go into the details, this is like the trends of the DDoS attacks and how the DDoS attacks are happening. But before I go into it, what I'll talk about is how we do go about providing a DDoS protection, right? And our DDoS protection is we are calling it behavioral-based DDoS protection, and the reason why we call it is we don't ask customers to give a static rate limits, right? Instead of that, we tell the customers the behavior of the site. We tell them how the typical behavior for your application looks like. So for example, here, we are saying that, hey, this is the trend that we are seeing. The maximum number of requests that we are seeing from an IP in the last 7 days is about 15 requests a minute. This is across across the entire application. And for the customer, he can now go and look at the trends, and then based on his risk appetite, that is essentially what is the capacity until which he wants to allow beyond the typical behavior, he can configure the policies. So he could say, instead of 100 requests a minute, he could say, okay, at 15 requests is the typical max. Okay, let me configure it at 200%, right? So at 200% of max, he will start you are configuring a policy that, okay, now start taking corrective actions. The corrective actions could be block, it could be just notify me, or it could be show captures, right? So there are various corrective options available, and what is the duration for these? All those things can be configured. So the advantage here is that now instead of asking you a static rate limit, saying that, hey, what should be my rate limit? And you providing a static value, you're giving a policy, or you're configuring a policy based on your risk appetite and the behavior. So now as the behavior of the site gradually changes, so because of the change in application, or because your business is improving, or you're suddenly doing some kind of marketing campaigns, there are a lot more requests coming to your application. Now, so today my max is 15. Tomorrow, as it gradually increases and 20, it is still below my 30 max, right? So I would have allowed these requests. But my next day's max is actually 40 instead of 30. And as it gradually increases, it will gradually, as the traffic gradually adjusts, these policies will automatically fine-tuning it based on the behavior of the site, eventually making that we adjust to the behaviors of your application, right? And providing a more granular protection instead of giving a very high rate limits and then getting and allowing legitimate attacks to get to.